back with another episode, the Outliers Mining mini-series. With me today is Saad Hameed, our Director of Integrated Operations. So this week we're going to switch it up. Instead of me going through a detailed intro, Saad's got all his details up on LinkedIn, the OMS website. But maybe Saad, what's something that we wouldn't pick out of your resume? What's something interesting that most people wouldn't know about you?
Thanks, Ryan. Well, there's some secrets, obviously, but one that I can share is my love of cooking. I love, being a chef in the house. Not always appreciated, but yeah, I do have a lot of fun in cooking and experimenting on new dishes and stuff like that. So,
Fantastic. Okay, so Director of Integrated Operations. Say integrated operations can be interpreted in different ways by different people. So what is integrated operations?
yeah, it's a great question to start with. So basically, a lot of times when people think about integrated operations, right? Either it's the thinking that it's one big digitalization data, sort of project that's just another technology project, or people think about, the classic NASA room, right? So lots of screens, lots of people, lots of folks working together. And that's typically the first thing that comes into mind when you're trying to visualize it or think about it. The reality is that, even though those are true, they are, part of the journey of integration. It's more around business transformation and integration. And if you think about it from a perspective of business integration, right, the control room is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of things going on underneath that include your operating or management operating model or system, includes your technology layers, both from a foundational and enabling technologies. And fundamentally, it's about how do you integrate people, right? And how are those individuals working together cohesively around one core objective for the business? And that's, really what's going on when you look at integrated operations or business integration.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, you hear this, the NASA space station room, but the room is only one part of it. Like you said, the whole point is to get to Mars. The point is not to have the room. That's that might be an offset of it. That might be a way that you get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're exactly right. It's when you look at integrated operations or business integration, there has to be a common goal or objective, right? A common vision and mission. Those are clear. But now you've got to start breaking down these goals and objectives into individual roles and their functions and make sure that they're all aligned in that integrated fashion, that they all stack up to achieving that same ultimate mission. So that's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if it's not adding value, then what's the point?
Yeah, so that's another great point. So we're very people centric when it comes to design and build, right? And if you follow your basic principles or sort of your guidelines for integrated operations, people, process, technology, one of the key factors that's usually missing is value, right? What is the value that you're trying to create by um, sort of uplifting the way people work, changing their roles, their responsibilities, their accountability, changing the way they're fundamentally working in order to achieve a better value, right? The processes that you improve, whether it's a revised operating model or the technology that you deploy to help them do a better job, in the end, you're really measured against value. And that's something that fundamentally misses out on a lot of project designs, is where clear value is not either defined or understood or adopted.
Well, Saad, if people want to find out more from you, what's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, LinkedIn, find me on LinkedIn, send me a quick message. Very, very happy to return or respond to any sort of inquiries.
Beautiful. Okay, thanks so much, Saad.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Loved it, man. Have a great one.